Islamic thought about the concept of man encompasses a rich and profound worldview that addresses various dimensions of existence, including the nature of reality, knowledge, ethics, and human life. Central to this worldview is a deep reflection on the role and purpose of man in the universe. Islam offers comprehensive understanding of human nature, one that integrates physical, intellectual, and spiritual aspect of man. Before exploring the specific Islamic perspective on the concept of man, it is essential to recognize this view is shaped by divine revelation through the Quran and the teaching of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, forming the foundation for the way Muslims understand their place in the creation and their relation with the Creator.
And now, it's about Islamic thought, man's creation and purpose. It is the Quran 51 verse 56, and I did not create the jinn and the mankind except to worship me.
Allah took different parts of the earth and He molded it into clay, and from there was water added to that until that clay turned dark and black. And then that clay, Allah fashioned it into the form of the human being. And now when the clay is becoming dry, it's taking a different color. And the color that it takes eventually is the color of wheat. And that's why Adam a.s. got his name from. Because Adam is from Udum, which is wheat. And his color was the color of wheat, right? Light brown kind of color. So he took from the white rocks, he took from the black rocks, he took from the brown soil, he took from the red, he took all these different colors, right? From the yellow sort of sandy type of ground material that you get. Allah took all of that. This is all these different parts that Allah took. Why? There's a reason. Allah created a creation called the Ruh, which is the spirit. He created a creation from which, if He blows, or if from that Ruh something transfers into the clay, that molded clay that is dead, that has got not just a shape and a form, if that goes in there, then it allows that person to become alive and to move. So suddenly, Adam a.s. found himself alive. Now you can imagine what's happened to Iblis. Is getting even more, the jealousy and all that is really kicking in, right? So he's there, standing, watching, observing, and thinking, okay, what's going to come next? Now what happens next is, Allama Adam al-asma'a kullaha. Allah then taught Adam a.s. the names, or all the names. Now what does it mean by all the names? Here again, Mufassirun have debated, and there's lengthy pages of what are these names that was taught them, whether they're names of Allah, or are they the names of the angels? That's one quotation. Are these names of certain things that the angel never knew of, or are they things that the angels also knew of? Because Allah then challenged the angels to try and say the names of these things. What were these things? So according to the Mufassirin, a dominant thing seems to be that there were things on the earth to do with becoming a vicegerent, to becoming a khalifa, to now reigning the earth in a way that has never been done before. Because the angels had seen the jinns and how they lived on the earth. So they didn't. What did the jinns do? The jinns couldn't build buildings. The jinns didn't know what buildings were and how to make monuments and so on. The jinns did not know, and they did not need material things to live. The jinns, they didn't need material things to live. So taking a seed, putting a seed into the ground, and then the seed sort of growing and then cultivating it, and then the tree grows, and then taking that tree, cutting it up, making planks of wood, then from that plank of wood to make something with 4 legs, that's a table, to make something else that's 4 legs and that's a chair, and to sit on it at a table, that is something jinns never knew. That's something that jinns never knew. Things that a human being will be able to do. As a human being, inside your mind, you've got this brilliant ability to innovate. And this thing of innovation was not in the jinns. And this is what really made Iblis jealous. You can imagine the feelings that are going in Iblis. So Allah first said to the angels, He said, "Oh angels," He said, "tell me what these things are." And the angels didn't know. If the angels looked at a table, they wouldn't know what that table is. They wouldn't know what chair is. They wouldn't know, a house, and inside the house, they wouldn't know that. The angels wouldn't know, to make a building to govern people or whatever. They wouldn't know any of this. They wouldn't know the difference. Allah said, "Okay, go and tell me." La ilma lana. We don't have the knowledge, except for the knowledge that you have endowed us and you've given us. Then Allah tells Adam a.s. says, "Oh Adam, now ambihum bi asma. Tell me what are these concepts, these names here." So Adam a.s. said, that's the table, or that's the chair. I'm not saying he said table, I'm not saying he said chair. Whatever those things was, he said that's that, that's this, that's that, that's this. And they were absolutely amazed. Now even Iblis was like, I don't even know what this is. And this thing Allah's created, He knows all of this.
Next, Islamic thought, free will and accountability. Quran 18 verse 28, 9. The truth is from your Lord. Let him who will believe and let him who will disbelieve. So human and Islam are granted like free will, and with this freedom comes responsibility. And Islam teaching that every individual will be judged by Allah on the day of judgment based on their beliefs and action. Thus, man's lives on earth is seen as test of character and morality. Lastly, Islamic thought, afterlife and human destiny. Quran 3 verse 185. Every soul will taste death and you will be paid your wages in full on the day of resurrections.
So good evening everyone. About the Islamic thought, how can I relate my work field to the Islamic thought? So since I'm a registered radiologic technologist, I handle different kinds of patient, different kinds of religion, and also if the patient is Muslim, we have to respect them, especially if the girl or the Muslim is wearing hijab. Automatically they are requesting for a female radiologic tech to handle them kasi hindi po sila pwede na lalaki yung magano nila, so we have to respect that. And also they have to remove their hijab, babae lang kasi din po yung dapat kita nun, then we have to respect that. So it is normal na lang po sa amin na alam na namin yung gagawin namin from time to time if we can handle Muslim patient. And also, I have a colleague na Muslim po, so we also respect their tradition. And like, syempre, pagkakain po is, sa work namin is, syempre, we have to be careful kung ano yung pinapakain namin kasi bawal po sila ng pork. And then also, sa colleague po namin, since may mga colleague din akong Muslim, is we respect yung praying time nila. So we have to allot like kunyari morning na magpa-pray sila or afternoon.
And now we're going to talk about the Indian thought. It is the Hinduism, Atman and Brahman. Bhagavad Gita 2 verse 20. The soul is neither both nor does it die. In Hindu philosophy, the Atman or the eternal self is the true essence of man. This Atman is part of the larger cosmic reality. Brahman, the ultimate truth. The goal of human life is to realize the unity of Atman Brahman, transcending the illusion of material and world through spiritual knowledge and self-discipline. Next one, the Indian thoughts is about the karma and reincarnation. Bhagavad Gita 4 verse 11, the intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Central to Indian thought is the concept of karma, which teaches that every action has consequences. Humans are bound by the cycle of samara or rebirth, and their action in each life determine their future incarnation. The goal is to break free from this cycle through the attainment of moksha or liberation. Indian thoughts about liberation and the purpose of life. Bhagavad Gita 4 verse 11, the intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Man's ultimate purpose in Indian thought is to achieve moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and rebirth. This is done by realizing the true nature of self and its unity with the divine. Liberation represents spiritual freedom and end suffering.